Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about why I prefer my GMC Envoy XL with the 4.2 liter straight 6 engine versus my GMC Envoy XL with the 5.3 liter LS V8. Keep in mind that this is my opinion and it should not scare anyone from buying these vehicles. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and show your support to my channel. It has grown a lot and I'm very thankful for all the support. If you want any LED products for your GMC Envoys or any other vehicle, check out Oxido LED lights and receive 15% off any products in store using my promo code, which is GMC Lincoln. For people who don't know, we've owned our 2006 GMC Envoy with the 4.2 liter engine since new. I was 8 years old when we got it and she's got over 460,000 kilometers on it. The 2004 GMC Envoy XL with the 5.3 liter V8, we got that in 2021 from the original owner, and it has over 370,000 kilometers on it, and it's been driven to Alaska and Ontario since we owned it. I've spent a really good amount of time behind the wheel of these two vehicles, and I have to say that I prefer driving our 2006 Envoy with the 4.2 liter straight 6 engine, and here's why. Reason number one on why I prefer the 4.2 liter engine is because it's easier to work on. The 4.2 liter straight 6 engine fits perfectly inside the Envoy with lots of room to spare. I can easily access the spark plugs, power steering pump, water pump, and pretty much everything else in this engine without having to take many things apart and requiring special tools. I can't say this about the 5.3 liter. The 5.3 liter LS V8 is a great engine and it's easy to work on in other vehicles, but not in the Envoy because it's just so tight. There's not that much room to even change the spark plugs. I always have my mechanic change out the spark plugs on this thing because I don't have the appropriate tools or the patience to do this. Anyone can work on a 4.2. I'm not mechanically inclined, but I've learned a lot by wrenching on this 4.2 liter engine, from changing spark plugs, water pump, coolant valves, and many more. There's just a lot of room, and it's very simple design. Another point I want to mention here is that the 4.2 is a bit more reliable than the 5.3 to a certain extent. The 5.3 LS V8s were very reliable, but in 2005, GM introduced displacement on demand, which shuts off half the cylinders at lower loads. This displacement on demand system proved to be very unreliable for GM, and it still is today. Not sure why they still have the system going. You're not buying a huge V8 to save fuel. You'd think that GM would have at least perfected the system by now, given it's been more than 15 years since they used this technology in their V8s. Anyways, the most major repair that we had on our 4.2 was replacing the valve cover gasket, which we did about 4 years ago. Other than that, she's been ticking like a clock with no signs of failing. I've seen owners with well over 300,000 miles on their 4.2, which is amazing. I hope to get over 300,000 miles on mine, which I'm not that far away from. Reason number two is that the 4.2 liter straight 6 engine is fuel efficient and fun to drive compared to the 5.3 liter V8. So hear me out. The 5.3 liter V8 sounds amazing and has great power to move around the Envoy, but it is heavy and you can feel the heaviness when you're taking corners and such. Driving my Envoy XL with the 5.3 feels like a tank. It's a really good feeling, but it's a heavy feeling for sure, and the gas mileage is horrible. I barely get 600 kilometers to the tank in this thing no matter how conservative I drive. It is a gas hog for sure. The 4.2 feels a lot lighter, and you'll immediately notice the difference if you drive these two back to back. Taking corners feels very nice and light, and since this is the 4.2, it is underpowered. And so I find myself constantly mashing the accelerator for more power, and I love it when this engine just screams when it downshifts. It's truly a satisfying feeling if you know what I'm talking about. The 4.2 liter also gets better gas mileage than the 5.3, which is expected, but I've talked to some owners and they are saying that they get better gas mileage on their 5.3s compared to the 4.2s, which is quite strange. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of gas mileage y'all are getting on these things. For me personally, I get over 700 kilometers to the tank and over 20 miles to the gallon on the highway on my 4.2. Last but not least, on why I prefer my GMC Envoy with the 4.2 versus the 5.3 is because the seats are much better. If you didn't know, all the base models like my 2006 Envoy came with cloth seats. You know what else came with the base model? The 4.2 liter engine. All the V8s came standard with leather seats and no option for cloth seats. I could be wrong about this statement, but from the research I've done, I haven't found any source saying that the V8 was offered with cloth seats. So what am I going on about these cloth seats? Well, these cloth seats are super comfortable and the material is very durable and strong. It has clearly been tested for its durability over the years. The leather seats, on the other hand, is just a nightmare. You just slide around and the leather quality is not that great at all. The leather seats did improve in 2005, but I still think the cloth seats were superior in my opinion. I know many of you in the comment section would be like, oh, you can just swap out the leather seats for some cloth seats. I could do that, but I don't want to spend time and money doing that if I'm being honest. That being said, the middle seats are not bad on this 2004 Envoy. It's just the front seats that are just horrible. Anyways folks, I love these two Envoys, but my heart belongs to the 4.2 because it's easy to work on, cheaper to run, fun to drive, and has better seats. You may disagree with me here, but that's just my opinion. Inline 6 engines are making a comeback now. We are seeing Jeep with its new Hurricane 3 liter straight 6 engine. There's Mercedes and BMW with their straight 6s. It's a shame that GM didn't use these 4.2 liters in any other products. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you all next time.